Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be showing you my fall collab mani today. I'm very fortunate. I have some really fun mani friends to share this collab with. And for this fall mani, I am using a majority of MamaMakesHerOwnDips dip powders. And then I'm also using some glitter from CNDesigns. And both of these companies you can find on Etsy, and I will link them below. So for this fall mani, I also put on some full coverage tips. I want to give a shout out to one of my collab friends, Kayla. Her channel is Totally Kayla, and I'll link that below as well, and her Instagram. She did a video on full coverage tips, and let's talk about an entirely crazy game changer in my life. I struggle with shaping my nails to the point where that is like my greatest weakness. And so when she did full coverage tips with already shaped nails that you just have to file down, you know, that basically changed the game for me. So you'll see some really nice videos where my nails are now perfect and the exact shape that I want them. So it's the first series in that. So this is, the first color is Sweater Weather that I'm using on my thumb, and I'm going to be putting this on my thumb and my ring finger. And then I'm going to be ombreing some of this rose sequin glitter from CNDesigns. CNDesigns did this really awesome line where it was like called Gilded Rose or something like that. And all the colors are just gorgeous, and they are basically all glitter. So I definitely would recommend trying that out and looking at that collection, because it was really, really beautiful. So here I am just getting the powder on my nail. I didn't want them to be too thick, so you'll see a little trick that I do coming up. I'm also using my Vividips Liquids. They are my current favorite. They don't give me dip flu symptoms like some other liquids do, so I really like them. And this is where I got smart and decided that pouring over my nail is much better than trying to dip my nail into this little bit of powder. I got these colors from MamaMakesHerOwnDips, and I got some of them in just like a sample size, so that's why there's like not a lot of powder. But at the end of the day, when I poured the powders back into the little jars, these little sample jars, I hardly had used any of it. So I was like, this is really cool. I can now know that I can get some samples and I can get a good amount of manis out of it, because I rarely ever do one color manis. So if you are looking to build out your collection and you want some different colors and you're not going to do like a full color mani, then samples are just fine enough. I mean, you can probably get a couple manis where you're just doing some accent nails. So now I'm going to be doing the ombre on this nail. So I basically just did one dip of the Sweater Weather, and then you'll see what I do with the ombre. I'm going to ombre from the base of my nail towards my free edge, and then I'm just going to use the Sweater Weather to ombre the top of the nail. Not ombre, just cover at the top of the nail. And I really love the way this turned out. I don't know what possessed me to do it this way, but I just figured I wanted a little bit more coverage of the color, but because the glitter is so chunky, I didn't want to do too much color near my cuticle. So it really worked out. I'm going to do the same thing for my pinky. So I just want to talk a little bit about my collab with my friends, Amber and Kayla. Amber is That Mama Life on YouTube and on Instagram. I'll link her below. And then Kayla is Totally Kayla on YouTube and Instagram as well. I started talking to Kayla through some, I think it was a live that we were both on, and she was talking about iGel colors, and I told her that I would send her the pictures of the swatches that I have of iGel colors. And then we just started talking about animals. And then it just all sprung from there. And now we've been talking nonstop for months. And then on the side, she was talking to Amber, and she's like, you know what? I really need to introduce the two of you because the three of us could work on stuff together and it would be great. Amber's awesome. So she brings Amber into the conversation, and lo and behold, all three of us just hit it off immediately. And we wanted to do this cute little fall collab called FALLin to Friends because we just became friends. This is our first collab, so we thought it would be cute. So that really is kind of like the backstory behind the collab. So just to get back to what I'm doing now, I'm putting Golden Cider, which is also a MamaMakesHerOwnDips color, on my middle finger. And this color, it didn't really have a lot of opacity, so I ended up doing 3 dips. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I am just kind of nail magic some clear on my ombre nails. I noticed that Vividip dries pretty slow, so I had some time to put some clear on while I'm waiting for my middle finger to dry. And now I'm going to just take my stiff brush and do another coat of the Golden Cider. So I find that like letting a nail dry and then moving on to another nail, it's like the perfect amount of time. And that way I'm also staying busy and I'm not just sitting there waiting for a nail to dry. I'm keeping the manicure going since, you know, it does take kind of a long time. So wiping off the clear powder that was on my thumb and my pinky, and now I'm just activating them since they're done. That's the other thing that I've been doing lately is once a nail is done and I'm going to be doing, you know, multiple designs on different nails, I like to activate them because then I don't have to wait for the activator to soak in. By the time I'm done my other nails, I can go right in and file and buff that nail. So here I am just putting the final coat of Golden Cider on my middle finger, and I just love this color. It's so pretty. And this is another one that I just got a sample of. I hardly used any of it. I just used it on 2 nails. So I was really, really shocked and happily surprised at how far those samples took me, because I wasn't expecting to basically use none of it. When I poured them back in, I was like, wow, you can't even tell I used any of this. So the final color that I'm using is called FALLin, and this color is just gorgeous. It's got so much depth to it. It's kind of like a grayish, greenish color, I guess you could say, more on the grayish side. And it's got all these different foils in it. So it has like rose gold foils and gold foils, and then there's some, I guess, like teal foils in there. It's so pretty. So I'm going to be putting that on my pointer finger and my ring finger. And you can see here, the first dip, for some reason, no foils, basically no foils landed on the one side of my nail and a bunch landed on the other. So I'm just trying to pat them down a little bit. And then you'll see what I do to give it a little bit more depth in just a moment. So I'm just patting them down. Again, while I'm watching this back, like I'm just in love with my nail shape. They're finally the shape that I want. I don't know about you, but like those are the things that I obsess over. It's like my nail shape. I'm like, oh, when I have to shape them myself, I just think they never get perfect. And so the fact that I just had them look just like this with minimal effort, just really, it blew my mind. So here I am just patting down the foils again. This nail actually turned out a lot better than the first nail. The foils were a lot more even. But I do go back in for another dip because I liked more opacity on the gray part. And then I will show you a little bit of foil placement as well. So the other thing that I noticed is with like the silver, gold, rose gold foils, I guess maybe because they're not as pigmented as colored foils, the color doesn't run as bad. I just recently got a really cute, it kind of looks like a whitish color, and the foils in it are like blue and purple. and those purple foils the color ran so bad when I was swatching them. But with these ones it didn't. So I can only guess that it's because of the more pigmented foils, the color, the ink in them just runs more than these foils, because you can see these foils here, they're very, very easy to work with, and they're not smearing at all whatsoever. And so I didn't have any of those issues. So I, dip in again, and I'm just missing some big spots on my nails with no foils. So I'll go in and do some placement. But you can see some of the teal foils in there, some of the rose gold foils. It's just so pretty. So then I'll let you watch this for a little bit, and then I'll be back when I'm ready to talk about some wine. I'm gonna finish up by doing my pointer and my ring finger. I don't clear cap my golden cider finger. I've been living on the edge lately, just doing kind of like 3 coats of color and only clear capping if I'm using glitter or foils. So you'll see me finish up these 2 nails, do a little foil placement, clear cap them, and then activate. And then I'll be back to talk you through the rest. Hello, I'm back. I am finishing up these nails, and while I'm doing that, I wanted to chat with you about the delicious wine selection that I had with this Mani. So with this Mani, I got a red wine. It's a 2016 vintage from Columbia Valley in Washington. It's a red blend. It's called Coste de Betz, and it is from Betz Winery. So this red blend is 70% Merlot, 15% Sauvignon Blanc, and I'm sorry, Cabernet Sauvignon. Sauvignon Blanc is white wine. It's definitely not white wine. And then it's 15% Petit Verdot. So it's 70% Merlot, 15% Cabernet Sauvignon, and 15% Petit Verdot. This wine rated really high, so I was on wine.com and just looking at some of these ratings. It's got 96 points for James Suckling, 95 points for Jeb Dunkirk, 94 points for Robert Parker's Wine Advocate, and 92 points for Wine Enthusiast. I was really blown away by this wine. It was absolutely delicious. It's definitely one of the best red blends that I've ever had. And it was funny because at the time I was getting some really amazing Merlot vibes from this before I even looked up that it was mostly Merlot, so I felt good about myself after that. The berry notes in it were really, really strong. It was so juicy, and it had a hint of cocoa. It just truly delightful. So when I finally did the research on this wine, I was looking into it, and the value of that bottle was $70. So it's a $70 valued bottle of wine that we got from Gary V Wine Club, and I think Gary V Wine Club, it's about $70 a month, so you get 3 bottles of wine. So very, very good value for the bottle. I was really blown away. It was a really great selection. So I'll link that wine info and the Gary V Wine Club below so you can see. And then the Gary V Wine Club is cool because it's you get really good quality wine for a cheaper price, which I personally, that's what I love to do, is find really nice quality wines that don't cost a ton of money. So now, just to get back into the mani, I went ahead and cut the video. I filed and buffed, and I did my other hand. And now I'm just putting on some clear coat I had activated. I basically just speed up doing my right hand because I just go so slow because I'm using my non-dominant hand. So I'm doing the first coat, the quick strokes, and wiping off the brush in between. And now I'm ready for my second coat. Vividips top coat is beautiful. It is slightly thicker than the base coat, so the shine on this is gorgeous. I love it. It's definitely my favorite dip top coat of the moment. So you'll see me go through here, and now I'm just going in with this second coat, and I'm capping my edge, and this mani is just turning out so beautiful and so fall forward. I was really happy with the result, and it's just kind of simple, you know, just putting some ombre in for the sweater weather to kind of like liven that up a little bit, and then having those foils in there and the glitter. It just all came together really nicely, and I was very happy with it. So here I am doing my right hand, and I just speed through this a bit just to not torture you because I'm very slow with my left hand. And after this, I will be using my cuticle oil. The other thing is bottle, I guess, I don't know what you call it, cleanliness is really important here. So I cut it out, but I really clean off my bottle after I use it and clean off the brush because I want to make sure it lasts forever. So now I'm just using my cuticle oil. I'm using Panda Dips Orange Cream. It smells so delightful, and I'm putting it on both my hands so you can see here. I really love the way that this mani turned out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope that you like this mani too. So please go check out my other nail friends for this collab, Totally Kayla and That Mama Life. And don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our channels to see what we come up with next. This mani really gave me all the fall vibes, actually all of our manis, all the fall vibes, and I hope it does for you too. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.